Naoya Inoue, flawless, legendary champion, but watching his fights is becoming harder and harder, and not because there is no beautiful boxing or excitement. The problem is the lack of intrigue. It's like watching a TV series when you already know the ending. Many episodes, different events, but outcome stays the same. And yet, you already know the main character is going to win. The only question is, will it be by knockout or on the judge's decision? That's why the thrill, the shock factor is missing. We are simply watching the Japanese star dismantle his next opponent, hold on to his belts, and keep moving forward. And I'm sure most boxing fans, myself included, are just waiting for the day when a true challenger finally emerges for the monster. And now comes another routine fight for Inoue. This December, at the year's final major boxing event, the Ring 5, Night of the Samurai, the Japanese champion will step into the ring against undefeated Mexican prospect Alan David Picasso. But here is the real question. Isn't this a bit too many fights for 1 year? Let's break it down. This year, the monster has been putting on a phenomenal pace. Just think about it. This will be his 4th defense of the undisputed super bantamweight crown in a single calendar year. In January, he stopped Ye Jun Kim in the 4th round. In May, he knocked out Ramon Cardenas in a dramatic fight after getting dropped himself. And most recently, he handled Olympic bronze medalist Murodjon Ahmedaliyev with absolute ease. Now, Inoue, together with Turki Al-Sheikh, seems set to treat boxing fans to yet another spectacle to close out the year. For comparison, his rivals for the top spot on the pound-for-pound list, Alexander Usyk and Terence Crawford, have only fought once this year. For Inoue, who usually fights less often, this pace is almost too much. He's only fought 4 times in a single calendar year, once before, back in 2014 at the very start of his career. But back then, the level of opposition was completely different. Now Naoya sits at the very top of boxing and every opponent is desperate to knock him off. Over the last 3 years, Inoue has consistently fought twice per year, but now he's decided to crank up the tempo. Guys, has anyone even heard anything about Picasso? How does he fight? Is this even worth watching or paying attention to? Honestly, I think it's going to look more like a training sparring session for the monster than a real fight. But drop your thoughts in the comments. I will read and reply to every single one. 4 defenses of the undisputed world championship in a single year. That's a unique achievement no one else in modern boxing can claim. But along with it come serious risks. For Turki Al-Sheikh, Naoya has become a golden asset, especially after Canelo Alvarez's recent loss, and the mastermind of today's biggest boxing events will try to showcase the monster as often as possible. The real question is, can Inoue handle such a brutal pace without burning out? The Japanese star barely has time to catch his breath this year. A proper training camp at this level takes at least 2 months. Then you add recovery after each fight, healing cuts, treating nagging injuries, fixing micro damage. And the reality is that Inoue is rolling straight from one camp into the next with almost no rest in between. It's also worth remembering that in his fight against Ramon Cardenas, Inoue was actually knocked down, and that definitely takes a toll on any fighter. Plus, in his most recent bout, Naoya may have beaten Murodjon Akhmadaliev convincingly, but he still had to go the full 12 rounds. All in all, his body has taken plenty of punishment this year. And let's be real, it's far from guaranteed that the Japanese star can handle another fight at this crazy pace, especially with one more lined up at the end of this year. Guys, don't you think that 4 fights in a single year is just too much? Couldn't it seriously affect Inoue's health and even his mental state? Maybe some of you with a medical background can chime in. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I would love to read them, and I'm sure other fans would too. What's surprising is that Turkey had actually planned to move Inoue up yet again in weight and match him against the undefeated British world champion Nick Bull. The fight with Akhmadaliev was supposed to be the last stepping stone before truly blockbuster matchups, with names like Gervonta Davis even being floated around. But it seems the Saudi organizers simply ran out of headline-worthy options for the year's final big event. Canelo and Crawford have just fought. Usyk is busy dancing and playing football while recovering from injury. BETERBIEV is set to fight in November, and BIVOL is sidelined with an injury. That left Inoue with no real choice. He had to agree to yet another defense of his undisputed crown. Inoue's next opponent will be another undefeated contender from Mexico, Alan David Picasso. Some even call him the heir to Canelo, though it's probably too early for such comparisons. At 25 years old, Picasso has already built an impressive record of 32 wins, 17 of them by knockout, with just one draw early in his career. That said, he hasn't really been tested on the big stage yet. In his last fight, he struggled against a much lesser-known Japanese fighter, Konosuke Kameda, with one judge even scoring it a draw. On top of that, Picasso has only gone the full 12 rounds once in his entire career. So yes, guys, we've dug up some info on the Mexican, but the real question is, does he have the skill set to truly challenge Inoue and give us a fight worth watching? Or is he about to become just another punching bag for the monster? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I will be reading them all and ready for a good debate. Right now, Inoue is simply on another level. He is cool. The 30-year-old Japanese superstar holds a perfect professional record of 31-0, but the real headline is this: in the bantamweight division, he scored 27 knockouts. Yes, he's got dynamite in his fists. Inoue flat out destroys opponents, and at the moment, there doesn't seem to be anyone on the horizon who can truly handle him. It's not just that Naoya is nearly flawless, it's that he's constantly learning, evolving, and adding layers to his already massive arsenal. What makes him so dangerous isn't only his knockout power. His footwork is world-class, his ability to outwork and overwhelm opponents is unmatched. Thanks to this, Inoue quickly finds the perfect distance and starts dishing out the devastating damage. Inoue is constantly learning and evolving, and that's on top of the fact that his durability is already off the charts. In previous fights, he's even allowed himself to hit the canvas, but each time he got up looking so calm and composed, as if he had already factored in the possibility of getting dropped. Since then, he's tightened up his game, fighting with more precision and security. At times, it feels like every single combination and sequence has been drilled for hours, days, even weeks. That's how sharp and perfectly timed his punches look inside the ring. Guys, don't forget to check out the description under this video. I have put together a playlist of other great boxing content for you. Go watch it, there is plenty of exciting stuff waiting. Thank you. But let's not rush to overly praise the Japanese star just yet. When facing Inoue, Alan David will come in with a completely different mindset. The same as every challenger who gets a shot at the monster's titles. For Naoya, this may feel like just another day at the office. But it's his fourth fight this year, and underestimating the Mexican while dealing with the wear and tear of such a busy schedule would be a big mistake. And then there is Inoue's personality. He is a perfect gentleman. No trash talk, no drama, no stirring up conflict. He just walks into the ring and systematically dismantles his opponents. The problem is in the fight business. It seems like the spotlight often shines brighter on those who can entertain both inside and outside the ring. That's why while Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford fight for multi-million-dollar contracts, Inoue is still competing in Japan, remaining a local superstar. If Inoue truly wants to take that next big step toward global stardom, he might have to become a little less flawless. Maybe even step into the role of the bad guy. Stay safe, stay tuned. Naoya Inoue. She's a monster. Beautiful monster. Naoya Inoue, a flow. In January, he still back in 20 injuries, fixing microderma. It's far timing. When facing Inoue,